Welcome to Manga Mac News! It's the news that interests us and should interest you too. This is news for the week of January 3rd, 2022. First news of 2022. The news we were reporting on is kind of old. So, we got a big one. Naoki Urasawa, the creator of hit manga such as Billy Bat, has announced that with the release of his 6th volume of his current series, Asadora, he is going digital. He has unlocked digital editions of Asadora, Yawara, and Jigoro Kanzenban, 20th Century Boys, that also includes 21st Century Boys, Kushami, which is his short story collection, and also Mujirushi, have all been unlocked for the first round of digital editions of Naoki Urasawa works. So this is big, Dar, because Naoki Urasawa traditionally has never done digital works. He has just said no. The guy loves paper, and that should be really, really obvious, like based on all like the discussions we had about Billy Bat. But yeah, he's doing it.
Paper comics being a last-minute plot point in Billy Bat's long-running lore.
Yeah, but to give better context to this, Naoki Urasawa has a YouTube channel, and over on his YouTube channel, he put out a video announcing like how he's going digital and the reasons why. And basically, the main reason why he says is why he was against doing digital releases is he loves paper, right? You know, manga is designed to be read as a book that you open up and you look at 2 pages at the same time. So that's always bothered him. You know, if you're looking at your smartphone, you're just flipping through 1 page at a time. So he's actually like developed his own like logo that says, please read this manga as like 2-page spreads, because that's how it was like originally like designed. And so he said, this mark I'm gonna allow access to other manga artists to use as well, and maybe for other like he's doing this deal with Shogakukan Works, so that's why you have 20th Century Boys and Yawara. And he hopes that like other manga artists will use this as well, so like people will know that, you know, you should read this manga, even if it's digital, 2 pages at a time. And also he talked about like the limitations there are right now with printing. I mean, this is like all over the world, but you know, all the delays, all the problem with like shipment, even in the West, like printing presses are all backed up. Limitations of like being able to like go out and buy physical copies as well because of the pandemic. Because of all those things, he wants to go digital. And he's also gonna like, he mentions that he wants people to take advantage that like when you go digital, we can like do more color pages and recreate those color pages easily without having to like worry about printing costs of making color pages. So yeah, this is a great thing.
Yeah, very great thing. I'm glad he was able to re-examine. I totally respect where he's coming from. I've always wanted digital releases for his stuff, but I totally respect his perspective and I agree with his perspective and how like I always lament how the whole like the way we frequently read digital comics, you lose that wow factor of turning the page and getting the 2 pages. It's part of the experience a lot of time for manga, especially for somebody like Naoki Urasawa who like his bread and butter is all about making reveals and, you know, teasing something 1 page and then you turn the page and get a 2-page spread. Sometimes not even a 2-page spread. Sometimes it's just it's different stuff on the page, but it's all part of like the reveal. But I'm happy he's able to re-examine it, and like digital, it's such a powerful tool and a very resilient tool. Like you said with the printing problems and stuff like that. It's great. I'm happy this is happening. Naoki Urasawa was one like the big holdouts. Yeah. And this is a great thing, and it makes me feel more hope. Even though Billy Bat isn't available digital yet, it makes me feel more hopeful that Billy Bat will one day come to English.
Okay, so
digital will make that a lot easier.
We gotta talk about that. Like here on Manga Machinations, we love Billy Bat. It is the progenitor of our podcast. Obviously, we love to have it digital, but Billy Bat he did through Kodansha. And even though Billy Bat is like in this like Naoki Urasawa put out this illustration with all his characters from his different works, and like there is the Billy Bat there, and you know Kevin Yamagata is also there, but we don't know because like all the releases so far are through Shogakukan, and he's gonna probably have to like talk with people at Kodansha to figure it out. But you know, he's been absent from his YouTube channel for about half a year, and explains in his video that it took him about half a year to like work everything out. Like he's been planning, and it finally is coming to fruition right now with these digital releases. So fingers crossed, like we'll see it eventually.
I think it being Kodansha isn't as relevant as it being Naoki Urasawa, who's okay with digital now. Like he was the real linchpin in that. So I think the deals will be worked out a lot. I think deals can be worked out. And now that Naoki Urasawa wants digital.
And fingers crossed that if it's Kodansha and they have digital, editions to work with, we can finally get a Western release of Billy Bat as well. That would be amazing.
It's so hopeful thinking, it's so wishful thinking, but like there is a nugget of hope there now.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility now, which is really awesome. So I have follow-up to this announcement of Naoki Urasawa, and that's George Morikawa was over on Twitter, and he was like, to this news, he was like making a tweet saying like, I really want to ask Mr. Urasawa about like why he decided to go digital, but then, the video came out, I was like, oh, that's why. But then people were asking, oh, why did you want to know so much about like Urasawa's digital reasons? And then George Morikawa made a tweet thread explaining kind of more in depth about why he finally decided to go digital with Hajime no Ippo. And it's pretty interesting. Like originally, like when the digital thing came out, it was like in conjunction with like an anniversary. And that's why like all 100 volumes of Hajime no Ippo, they put them out digitally, and they were free to read too. And so George Morikawa explained that the short answer was because of the pandemic, because of coronavirus. People were unable to like go out and get manga because of the pandemic, and people weren't able to enjoy manga. He wanted people to be able to enjoy manga, so he talked with Kodansha about a possibility of releasing manga. And at first it fell through, but eventually like they came back to him and they said, here, do you want to do this? We can do 100 volumes. And apparently, like the presentation that Kodansha brought to him about like what their plans are to make sure, like George Morikawa also had the same issues Urasawa had about wanting 2-page spreads, being concerned about that. But if you, I don't know if you've seen those digital editions of Hajime no Ippo, but they're clean and crisp as fuck. They're so good looking.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah. So George Morikawa was initially going to be like, at the end of 2021. We're going to stop this like digital campaign and it's going to be no digital again. Like he was going to actually like shut it back down. But because the reaction of the public has been so positive, and he's like, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. Like Kodansha is doing a great job putting out digital versions of my work. I just want to keep this going. And he also like explained like about 10 years ago when digital works were first starting to happen, he actually like was concerned about like, well, what's the revenue about? Like a lot of money issues with manga artists. How are they going to make money off of these digital editions? And he actually went to go talk to different publishers about it, specifically Kodansha for him. But he was interested in raising like the money value for all manga artists. And he was basically told, well, we can raise value for you independently because you're coming to talk to us, but we can't do it like as a broad thing. And so, and he says that I didn't want to be the asshole who just went in and raised my own value and then just pieced out. So he turned it down. It didn't end up happening. Yeah. So, and he said like, no one's really in a position to talk to the publishers, and the publishers are suffering too about like how to make like a turn a profit from doing these digital editions. But now that's all sorted out. And so that's why he is okay with digital editions. And so it wasn't so much for the anniversary, but more for like things getting worked out, being okay. I thought that was really, really interesting to hear, because for the longest time, he was also, a huge holdout. And now that we have these digital editions of Hajime no Ippo, fingers crossed somebody's gonna, okay a Western release or whatever. That would be amazing.
Yeah, like Hajime no Ippo is a really hard sell for localization because it's so big and long running. Mm-hmm. But with digital was the only way that would ever happen, I have to imagine. So again, still wishful thinking, but now we have that nugget of hope. Now I feel like it's possible. Yeah,
though I would say the Hajime no Ippo going digital happened like months and months ago, and we still haven't heard anything. But it's a possibility. It's still a possibility.
That work is done. Basically, the way I feel about it, like the work is done for like digitizing everything, and those files exist. Hopefully,
yeah.
So like it's all a matter of working out the deals and stuff, and of course the localization cost, which is nothing to scoff at. But I feel like That is the first step.
Yep, and we are there, and it's very, very exciting. Both with Naoki Urasawa and both with George Morikawa. So fingers crossed about Western releases about Billy Bat and Hajime no Ippo. But yeah, that's the news, and that's great. Beep 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 beep. Bye.